Hi, everyone. This is the Donnie and Pat show. I'm Pat. This is Donnie. Yeah. And we've known each other for about 40 years. And we would like to share some things that we've learned. And today we're talking about loving your neighbor, even when they annoy you, and some ways that we've done that in the past. And we hope that you learn a little bit today or can relate to what we are saying.
Or
Yeah.
find something useful.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And Pat, we should say that when we say neighbor, we mean anybody that's in your orbit. You-
Yes.
Be it your actual neighbor or your coworker or the bus driver on your commute, whoever is in your orbit at any point in time. That's what we mean when we say neighbor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, and Pat, say a little bit about why we really wanted to do this discussion.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about this because there's we're a lot of us are walking around with a lot of tension and anxiety in general. It's a very tense time in our culture, and this is a way to let a lot of that go and to walk around with a lot more peace, knowing that right now, most of us were doing our best, and I believe innately we want to do good. We want to do the right thing.
Hmm.
So,
That's
which is caring about each other.
right. Right.
So,
And you could, we could be starting from the point of that not everybody is trying to do their best, but that's where we start. We start from the everybody's doing the best they can in each moment. And that I think actually also helps with loving them. If you know you're doing your best in the moment and you accept that they're doing their best in the moment, it really does allow you to love them um, through the annoyance. And I think that's important. That's just important to be happy. If you can't let go of being annoyed with people, or circumstances or whatever, it's harder to be happy, and have joy when, uh, annoyance and joy kind of don't go together, you know,
right,
cancel each other out. So if you want to be happy and joyful in your life, for me anyway, it's like you can't walk around being annoyed all the time.
right, right. And some of that is not making assumptions about people or not worrying about where somebody's position on something might be, just accepting them as human. We're all humans. We're trying to just get through the day, no matter what's going on. We're just trying to do our best to move through the world with the least harm possible.
Right, right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy to do, but it is possible. It is possible.
I know for me, sometimes I have a little anxiety, even a little fear about even speaking to someone. If,
Mm,
but I try to do my best to do that anyway, to speak to everyone and hold doors for people, um, and say and make eye contact when I do say hello. And
mhm.
sometimes that, you know. is a little difficult. Uh, and I
Hmm.
realize it's because I might have made some assumptions about that person.
Hmm. Hmm.
So,
Yeah, we all make assumptions, right? And good for you that you are checking it, right? Because you can. I mean, one of my things is that I get less annoyed now than I used to. Um, and part of that for me is just understanding all of what we've said so far. Everybody's doing the best they can, right? Um, and if I let go of feeling annoyed, then I'll feel better, right? And probably if they are aware that I'm annoyed, they'll feel better, right? So it's it's this act of trying to create the environment you want for yourself, right?
yes.
Um, I have a story. So when my daughter was in elementary school, she had a medical emergency and had to be taken from school. I mean, she was in probably like sixth grade, so she wasn't tiny, tiny, but she was in elementary school. Had a medical emergency, had to be taken from school to the hospital emergency room, and I had to leave my job and go attend to her there. And so I got a cab from work. Got in the cab, and being kind of concerned, worried. I was worried. I just said to the driver, take me to thus and so hospital, which he proceeded to do. And then, but he took me to the main entrance and not the emergency room entrance. It's a huge medical complex. So it wasn't like I could just get out there and walk, right? So I said to him, oh, you took me to the main entrance. I need the emergency room. And for some reason, that just flipped a switch in him, and he became so angry with me. Um, and I started to get angry back at him, as we humans are tend to do, right? When we are met with anger, we give it back, right?
Hmm.
And he and I had a little back and forth for a couple of minutes, and then I just something said to me, take a breath, right? Just take a breath, which I did. And upon doing that, I was able to say to him, sir, I'm sorry. My daughter's in the emergency room. I wish I had said that to you, but I'm worried. And as soon as I said that, he went from here to here, right? It was like instant. And he just said to you, I'm going to get you there. And he took me, right? We get there, I say, thank you so much. I'm sorry. He says to me, I'm sorry. We apologize. We part ways. And I knew he was going to go on, and that little interaction that we had was not going to color the rest of his day. And
Right.
it didn't color the rest of my day, right? I was able to go into the emergency room and attend to my daughter. But that was when I learned how quickly you can turn something around and how quickly you can let it go if the circumstances are right for it. And if you choose to try to do that. Because it could have gone wrong, I guess, but I
Yeah.
I wanted to resolve it with him. Um, and ever since then, I've tried to like keep that whole interaction in my mind anytime I have that encounter with somebody where we're bumping heads or annoying each other or whatever. I try to keep that interaction in my mind, and it helps me because then I can go, okay, let it go. Do your best right now, Donnie, to let it go. um, that has worked for me.
That's a wonderful story. Yeah, there's a lot of wisdom in that. Yeah, just in small ways throughout the day, I think we can let things go, um, just even things that are not touching us personally in the moment, we can still extend love to those situations and those people that are maybe making decisions that affect our lives. A lot of things are out of control for a lot of people in their lives right now. And we need a lot of love and kindness towards all our neighbors right now.
Hmm.
And towards ourselves, not to leave ourselves out of the equation. What can we do uh, to better equip ourselves to be able to extend love?
Right,
Yeah,
right. And the more, you know, the more you love yourself, the more able you are to love others. You know, it's like the lack of self-love is at the root of a lot of negativity.
it is. Yeah. I think for a lot of us, not to get, this may sound off topic, I don't think it is, but because of extenuating circumstances that are taking place in our culture, we are feeling a lot of trepidation and some fear, and uh, we feel unworthy and beat down. And so we may be forgetting ourselves and to extend that kindness and love to ourselves right now. And when you can walk around and you can feel a little lighter, one of the reasons that I'm trying to speak to as many people as I can is because I notice when I speak to them, they seem to lighten and brighten a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not,
Mm-hmm.
it's not always they seem um, just heavy, that
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it's in the air. The heaviness is in the air right now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. That's so really true. I when I'm walking the dog in the morning, like we usually get out close to dawn, and we don't encounter. One of the reasons we go out so early is because we don't want to encounter other dogs. Because my dog is doesn't like other dogs, so we go out early so that we can miss that. But we do see often like people heading to work, right? Waiting to catch the bus, or just people starting their day at dawn, like we do, and it's usually the same people because we all have our routines, right? And
mhm,
I speak to everyone, uh, and what I've noticed is that some people will, speak right back. Some people either don't hear me or act like they don't hear me. And some people just kind of look at me funny, you know. But I continue to speak to them just the same. And what I have found out is that over time they all speak back, right? Because I see them almost every morning, and over
mhm.
me continuing to say good morning, good morning, good morning. Eventually, even the ones who looked at me funny, or the ones who acted like they didn't hear me, they're saying good morning back. I actually have one man who now says good morning first, who didn't used to acknowledge me at all. So, what I kind of learned that you can position yourself uh, to be either that loving person or that not loving person. Uh, and it's how people perceive you, right? Often. And so I always try to speak to people, especially in my neighborhood, but anywhere.
Mhm.
I try to speak to people.
Yeah.
And because I do live in a big city, I get the, huh? The
Hmm.
talking to me. But I don't care. Doesn't matter. I still speak. Because I think you're right, Pat, that, it lightens people. It helps them when you speak and smile at them.
Yeah, and you never know. That may be the only act of kindness that they get all day.
Right.
I remember in a Sunday school one day, my Sunday school teacher told us that, try to speak to people. It may be the only
Mm-hmm.
interaction that person has the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we are um, in a place our where there's some self-imposed isolation because I think we
Mm,
tend to think that that will keep us safe and that keeps us separate and keeps us from loving each other. There's some magic in kindness from a stranger and
yes.
saying hello to people that you don't know. That uh, that really does. That can touch somebody's heart, you know, even if you have to wear them down a little bit, like you've had to in your neighborhood, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
I don't think I have anything to add about on this topic. It does come down, almost everything comes down to how loving can you be?
yes, absolutely.
Almost everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does. Yeah, I don't have anything to add either.
Well, I hope everybody out there that you gained something from this. There was something that you heard that resonated with you and gave you hope and joy, or just an idea of something you could do for yourself. And if that's true, I hope you will, we both hope you'll also share this to whomever you think might find it useful as you did. If you liked it, please hit that like button, and we would love to have you as a subscriber. And we'd welcome and look forward to your comments. Until next time, Donnie and Pat say
All
goodbye.
right, bye.